Big news. The third party is finally gone. Your soulmate is crying with happiness because you finally. My beloved child, don't skip, stay till the end, because something huge is waiting, because something has finally changed in a way your soulmate never expected. The third party is gone, and the moment that distance appeared, a truth they had been avoiding became impossible to ignore. Your soulmate suddenly realized that what they were searching for somewhere else could never replace what they felt with you. And now, instead of confusion, there is relief. Instead of running from their feelings, they are finally looking directly at them. Don't skip, because the biggest revelation is not that someone left their life. It is what your soulmate understood immediately afterward. They remembered your presence, your patience, and the way you made them feel understood without forcing anything. And suddenly, memories they once pushed aside started returning with incredible intensity. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. There is one realization making them emotional right now, and it could completely change the direction of this connection. What happened next surprised even them. Your soulmate expected to feel emptiness when the third party disappeared, but instead, they felt strangely free. For the first time, there was no distraction standing between them and the truth. And that truth kept pointing toward you. Don't skip, because this is where everything begins to turn. They are realizing that your absence affected them more deeply than they ever admitted. They can remember conversations, small moments, and feelings they once took for granted. Now those memories feel completely different. They are beginning to understand that some connections can be replaced, but others leave a mark that time cannot easily erase. Something huge is waiting for you, because your soulmate is no longer asking themselves whether they still feel something for you. The question inside them has changed. Now they are wondering whether they still have a chance to make things right. And that single thought is creating a level of happiness they have not felt in a long time. But there is something even bigger they have realized, and this is the part you need to hear. Your soulmate can sense that you are no longer the same person they once knew. You have become harder to overlook, harder to forget, and impossible to take for granted. Stay till the end, because the next shift could be the one that changes everything. The third party leaving did not automatically bring your soulmate back to you, it forced them to finally face what your connection meant. And now they are thinking about what they would say if they had one completely honest moment with you. They are imagining your reaction. They are wondering whether the door between you is still open. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is one particular memory of you that keeps returning to their mind, and it is becoming stronger every time they try to ignore it. That memory may be the reason they finally stop hiding what they feel, and what it reveals next could change the entire story. Something unexpected is happening inside your soulmate right now, and they can no longer pretend that everything is normal. The moment the third party disappeared, they thought the confusion would simply end, but something much bigger began. Your soulmate started seeing you in a completely different light. Every moment when you stayed genuine, every time you cared without demanding anything, and every memory they tried to bury is suddenly returning. Don't skip, because there is one truth they have finally understood: they never stopped comparing everyone else to you. And nobody could create the same feeling. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that losing your presence taught them more about your value than having easy access to you ever did. Here is where the story becomes even more surprising. Your soulmate is not only thinking about you, they are mentally replaying the moment when everything between you began to change. They keep wondering what would have happened if they had chosen differently, spoken sooner, or listened to their heart instead of their confusion. Don't skip, because their tears of happiness are connected to something deeper than simply being free from the third party. They finally feel that the noise around them has disappeared, and now your connection is the one thing standing clearly in their mind. Something huge is waiting for you. They are imagining what it would feel like to hear your voice again, to finally say what remained unsaid, and to discover whether that powerful connection still exists between you. But one thought keeps stopping them: what if you have already moved beyond the version of them that once hesitated? And now comes the revelation they were least prepared for. Your soulmate is realizing that while they were distracted, you were becoming stronger. You were learning how to protect your peace, recognize your value, and stop waiting for someone else to choose you. That change is exactly what makes your energy feel so unforgettable now. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next truth could completely reverse the story. Your soulmate knows that simply missing you is no longer enough. Thinking about you is no longer enough. If they truly want another opportunity, they understand that something real must change. Don't skip, because there is now one decision forming quietly inside their heart, a decision they once believed they would never have the courage to make. And when you discover what they are preparing themselves to finally admit, you will understand why the third party leaving was only the beginning. My beloved child, something has shifted so deeply that your soulmate can no longer return to the way they used to think. They believed they could keep these feelings buried, continue forward, and eventually forget the connection, but now that the third party is gone, the opposite is happening. Your presence feels stronger in their mind than ever before. Don't skip, because this is where the truth becomes impossible for them to avoid. They are beginning to realize that you were never simply another chapter. You became the person their heart kept returning to when everything else became quiet. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason they are suddenly remembering details about you that they thought they had forgotten: your words, your kindness, the way you understood their silence, and those small moments that felt ordinary then but feel priceless now. And the more they remember, the clearer one shocking realization becomes: they may have walked away from the very connection they were searching for all along. But there is another layer to this story, and your soulmate was not prepared for it. They expected the third party leaving to create emptiness, yet instead it created clarity. Suddenly, they can see the difference between temporary attention and genuine emotional connection. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because this clarity is pushing them toward a question they have been afraid to ask themselves: what if this connection with you was never truly finished? That question keeps returning. They imagine seeing you again. They imagine the first words they would say. They even wonder whether you would recognize how much they have changed inside. But then another thought hits them even harder: you may have changed too. You may no longer accept uncertainty. You may no longer wait for someone who cannot recognize your value. Stay till the end, because realizing this has created urgency inside them. For the first time, your soulmate understands that another opportunity with you cannot simply be expected. It would have to be earned. And this is where everything begins moving toward the revelation you have been waiting for. Your soulmate is no longer asking whether they should keep hiding these emotions. They are asking what could happen if they finally became completely honest about them. Don't skip, because the thought growing inside them now is bigger than nostalgia and stronger than temporary loneliness. They want to know whether the door between you is truly closed, or whether one final possibility still remains. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is one thing they desperately wish they could tell you without fear, hesitation, or confusion getting in the way. They have replayed those words silently more times than anyone knows. And every time they imagine finally saying them, the same emotion rises again: relief, happiness, and the feeling that perhaps everything they went through was leading them toward this realization. Stay till the end, because what they want to reveal next is not about the third party anymore. It is about you, the future they suddenly cannot stop imagining, and the one decision that could completely change what happens between you next. My beloved child, the silence has finally revealed what all the noise was hiding, and your soulmate is seeing the truth with completely different eyes. They are no longer focused on who disappeared from their life, they are focused on the person whose absence still feels impossible to ignore. That person is you. Don't skip, because this realization is becoming stronger with every passing moment. They remember the way you made them feel seen without asking them to become someone else. They remember conversations they once considered small, but now those moments carry an entirely different meaning. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that the third party was never able to erase what existed between you. The distraction may have delayed this realization, but it could not destroy it. And now your soulmate is facing one powerful question they can no longer escape. If their heart keeps returning to you after everything that happened, what does that say about what they truly wanted all along? Now something even more unexpected is happening. Your soulmate has stopped imagining only what went wrong and started imagining what could still go right. Don't skip, because this is the shift that changes the entire story. They are picturing an honest conversation where there are no mixed signals, no confusion, and no outside distractions. Just the truth they should have acknowledged much sooner. Something huge is waiting for you, because they have realized that coming back into your world cannot happen with empty promises. They know you have changed. They know you may see things differently now. And strangely, that makes their emotions even stronger. They are happy because the confusion is finally gone, but they also understand that clarity comes with responsibility. Stay till the end, because there is one sentence they keep imagining themselves saying to you, and behind that sentence is everything they were once too hesitant to express. They want you to know that your absence did something your presence could never force them to understand. It showed them exactly how much space you had quietly occupied in their heart. Then comes the moment they never expected to reach. Your soulmate is realizing that they cannot keep waiting for the perfect circumstances, because while they hesitate, your life continues moving forward. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because this is no longer about watching from a distance and wondering what could have been. Inside them, a decision is beginning to replace hesitation. They know that if they ever approach you again, they must arrive differently. With clarity, consistency, and a genuine understanding of what they nearly allowed themselves to lose. Stay till the end, because the biggest revelation has still not been uncovered. There is one particular reason your soulmate believes this connection deserves another chance, and it has nothing to do with loneliness or the third party being gone. It comes from something they discovered about themselves only after you became distant. That discovery has changed the way they see you, the way they see the past, and most importantly, the way they are beginning to imagine the future. And once that final truth comes into the light, everything that seemed confusing before may suddenly make sense. My beloved child, what your soulmate has finally discovered about themselves is the revelation that changes the entire meaning of this story. They thought their biggest struggle was choosing between different directions, but now they understand something far deeper. They were afraid of the intensity of what they felt with you. Your connection made them confront emotions they could not easily explain, so distraction felt easier than honesty. But now the distraction is gone, the silence has become louder, and the truth keeps leading them back to the same place, you. Don't skip, because this is where everything begins connecting. Your soulmate is realizing that the happiness they feel now is not simply because the third party disappeared. It is because they finally stopped fighting what their own heart had been trying to show them. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They can finally admit to themselves that what existed between you was different, and the possibility of experiencing that connection again is awakening emotions they thought they had successfully buried. Suddenly, the memories are no longer making them look backward, they are making them imagine forward. Your soulmate is picturing what could happen if the two of you met again as stronger, wiser versions of yourselves. Don't skip, because one thought keeps becoming more powerful. They do not want another temporary connection to make them forget what genuinely mattered. They want clarity. They want something that feels real. And whenever they imagine that kind of future, your face keeps appearing in their mind. Something huge is waiting for you, because they have started rehearsing an honest conversation with you in their thoughts. Not a perfect speech. Not empty promises. Just the words they wish they had been brave enough to say when you were closer. They wonder whether you would listen. They wonder whether your heart would recognize the sincerity they could not show before. But above everything, they wonder whether they waited too long. Stay till the end, because that question is creating a powerful urgency inside them, and it is pushing them towards something they once kept postponing. And now the story reaches a point your soulmate cannot simply ignore. They understand that knowing the truth means nothing if they continue doing nothing about it. Don't skip, because the next realization is the one that could change their behavior completely. They know you deserve more than uncertainty, and they know that if they ever step toward you again, their actions will have to speak louder than everything they failed to say before. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is still one final piece they are trying to understand before they make their next move, whether the connection they still feel is also calling them toward a completely different future. The third party is gone. The confusion is fading. The excuses are disappearing. And now your soulmate is standing face to face with the truth they avoided for so long. They are no longer asking why they cannot forget you. They are asking what they are finally prepared to do about it, and the answer forming inside them may be bigger than anything you expected. My beloved child, something has crossed a point of no return inside your soulmate, and this is where the entire story begins to feel different. They are no longer simply remembering you during quiet moments. They are beginning to understand why every attempt to move beyond this connection eventually brought their thoughts back to you. Don't skip, because the answer surprised even them. It was never about finding someone perfect. It was about finding someone whose presence felt genuine, familiar, and deeply meaningful, and now they recognize that feeling was connected to you. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The third party being gone removed the final distraction, but what happened afterward is the real revelation. Instead of feeling lost, your soulmate felt clarity. Instead of wondering who should fill that empty space, they immediately started thinking about what they should have protected from the beginning. And now one thought keeps getting louder: if they remain silent much longer, they may lose the opportunity to show you what they finally understand. Here is where their happiness turns into determination. Your soulmate knows that returning with the same behavior would change nothing. They cannot expect you to forget the confusion simply because they have finally gained clarity. Don't skip, because this realization is pushing them toward a completely different mindset. They are thinking about consistency. They are thinking about honesty. They are thinking about showing you through actions that something inside them has genuinely shifted. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is one possibility they cannot stop imagining: seeing you again and immediately realizing that the connection never disappeared, it simply waited beneath everything that happened. Stay till the end, because your soulmate is also beginning to understand something about you. Your silence was not weakness. Your distance was not an invitation for them to take unlimited time. You were protecting your peace, and now they know that if they want a place in your future, they cannot arrive with uncertainty. That realization is making every decision ahead feel more important than before. Then comes the thought that changes everything: what if you are already closer to a new beginning without them? Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because this possibility has awakened an urgency they can no longer ignore. Your soulmate knows the world did not stop while they were confused. You continued growing, changing, and becoming someone who may no longer accept anything less than genuine effort. And strangely, that does not make them want to disappear, it makes them want to finally become clear. Stay till the end, because the biggest emotional shift is happening right here. They are no longer asking themselves whether they miss you enough to return. They are asking whether they are ready to become the person who can stand beside the version of you that exists now. The third party is gone, but that was only the doorway. What matters now is the decision waiting on the other side. And your soulmate is getting dangerously close to admitting the one truth they have avoided from the beginning: losing the distraction was easy, but accepting how deeply they still want you in their future is the revelation that changes everything. My beloved child, a completely different realization is taking over your soulmate now, and this one is stronger than everything they understood before. For so long, they believed there would always be more time to think, more time to understand their feelings, more time to decide what you truly meant to them. But suddenly, that illusion is disappearing. Don't skip, because your soulmate has finally realized that while they were trying to understand your value, you were learning to live without their presence. And that changes everything. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They can picture you becoming happier, stronger, and more certain about what you deserve, and instead of simply watching that transformation from a distance, something inside them is saying, I cannot keep pretending this connection meant nothing. The third party is gone, but now an even bigger truth stands in front of them. There is nothing left to blame for their hesitation. No distraction. No confusion. No outside situation. Only their own choice about what happens next. Then something surprising begins happening in their mind. Your soulmate starts replaying not only the beautiful memories, but the moments when you needed clarity and they could not give it. They remember the times when one honest conversation could have changed everything. Don't skip, because this is where their happiness becomes deeply emotional. They are grateful that they can finally see the truth, but they also understand that seeing it late comes with a powerful question: will you still care when they finally speak? Something huge is waiting for you, because they are imagining that first moment of honesty again and again. They imagine looking at you without hiding behind uncertainty. They imagine finally explaining why they pulled away from something that mattered so much. And most importantly, they imagine telling you that nobody else could recreate what they experienced with you. Stay till the end, because there is one particular realization behind all of this that they have never been able to admit before. They did not forget you when someone else entered the picture. They simply became distracted from a feeling that remained underneath everything. And now the next shift is becoming impossible to stop. Your soulmate understands that if they want another opportunity, they cannot return expecting the old version of you to be waiting exactly where they left you. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because this realization is changing what they want to do next. They know words alone will not be enough. They know feelings without action will not rebuild anything. And they know the next move must carry the clarity they should have shown from the beginning. Stay till the end, because there is still one revelation they have not fully faced, the possibility that everything they went through was necessary for them to finally understand what they were about to lose. Now they are standing between two choices. Remain silent and always wonder what could have happened, or finally step forward and reveal what their heart has been holding back. And the decision forming inside them is becoming clearer by the second, because for the first time, the thought of losing you permanently feels far heavier than the fear of finally telling you the truth. My beloved child, the moment your soulmate feared has finally arrived, the moment when staying silent feels harder than revealing the truth. Something inside them has changed so completely that they can no longer hide behind old confusion. Don't skip, because this is where the biggest emotional shift begins. The third party is gone, the distractions have faded, and now your soulmate is looking directly at the connection they once tried to place behind them. But instead of seeing something finished, they see unfinished words, unanswered feelings, and a future they never gave a genuine chance. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They are beginning to understand that their happiness is coming from finally being honest with themselves. They miss the feeling of being understood by you. They miss the peace they associated with your presence. And the most surprising realization is that they are no longer asking how to forget you, they are wondering how they could possibly approach you differently this time. That question has become impossible to silence. Now their thoughts are moving beyond memories and toward action. Don't skip, because your soulmate has started imagining one specific moment, the moment when they finally stand before you with nothing left to hide. They wonder what your eyes would say before you even spoke. They wonder whether you would feel the same familiar connection or whether too much has changed. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is one thing they understand now that they did not understand before. You never needed perfection from them, you needed clarity. And clarity is exactly what they failed to offer when it mattered most. Stay till the end, because recognizing this has completely changed what they believe a second opportunity would require. They know they cannot arrive with half-hearted intentions. They cannot expect your trust simply because their feelings became stronger. If they return, they know they must bring consistency, honesty, and actions that match their words. And strangely, instead of making them retreat, that realization is making them more certain about what they truly want. But the deepest revelation is still waiting beneath everything else. Your soulmate has finally understood why losing the third party brought tears of happiness instead of emptiness. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because those emotions were never about another person disappearing. They were about finally being released from a chapter that kept them disconnected from their own truth. Now they can see what their heart had been pointing toward all along. Stay till the end, because they are approaching a decision that could completely change the direction of this story. They know you may not be waiting. They know you have your own choices. They know nothing can be assumed. And that is exactly why their next realization carries so much weight. If they want you in their future, they must stop treating tomorrow as guaranteed. The question is no longer whether they feel something powerful for you. The question is whether they are finally ready to prove that realization through what they do next. And there is one final truth forming inside their heart that could answer that question once and for all. My beloved child, this is the truth your soulmate can no longer push away. Their heart has already made the decision their mind kept postponing. Don't skip, because something has become crystal clear now that the third party is completely out of the picture. Your soulmate finally understands that missing you was never a temporary emotion. Every distraction only delayed the realization, and every moment of silence made your importance clearer. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They are no longer crying with happiness simply because an old chapter ended. They are emotional because, for the first time, they can imagine choosing what feels genuine without confusion standing in the way. And when they picture that future, you keep appearing in it. That realization has shaken them deeply, because now they understand something they once failed to see: your connection was not powerful because everything was easy. It was powerful because even after distance, silence, and change, the memory of what you shared remained impossible for them to dismiss. Here comes the part they never expected. Your soulmate has started thinking about what they could actually bring into your life instead of only thinking about what they want from you. Don't skip, because that change in perspective is enormous. They know you do not need another cycle of uncertainty. They know beautiful words would mean very little without consistent actions behind them. And now they are asking themselves whether they are finally prepared to show up differently. Something huge is waiting for you, because their answer is becoming clearer. They want to be understood by you again, but they also want to understand you better. They want to know who you have become during this distance. They wonder what changed inside your heart while they were figuring out their own. Stay till the end, because one thought keeps hitting them harder than everything else: you may have stopped waiting. That possibility has made them realize that another chance could never be treated casually. If a door ever opens between you again, they know they cannot walk through it carrying the same uncertainty that caused the distance in the first place. And now everything is moving toward one final emotional turning point. Your soulmate can feel that remaining silent would mean accepting the possibility of never knowing what could have happened between you. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because that possibility has become harder for them to accept than the fear of finally being honest. They are imagining the words they would say, the truth they would reveal, and the moment when you finally understand what changed inside them. But there is one revelation still bigger than all the others. Stay till the end, because your soulmate has realized that the third party leaving did not magically create their feelings for you, it simply removed what was preventing them from facing those feelings clearly. And now there is nowhere left for the truth to hide. They know what they lost. They know what they still feel. They know you may not remain available forever. And somewhere inside them, one final decision is becoming stronger with every passing moment. What happens next will depend on whether they have the courage to turn this realization into action, and the truth behind that decision is the biggest revelation still waiting to be uncovered.